Shalom, family trendsetter. This is another edition of In the Man Cave. I want to share a news article with you, okay? Happening now on CNN. So pay attention and I'll come back with my commentary.
New this morning, more than 70 police officers pulled from duty in Philadelphia over allegations of racist, hateful, and violent social media posts. CNN's Bryn Gingras is live in Philadelphia with more. This is horrible, Bryn.
Yeah, Allison, we're talking about 72 police officers here in Philadelphia alone, taken off the streets, restricted to desk duty. And this is all in response to a research project called the Plainview Project. This was a compilation of Facebook posts that this group looked into at 8 different police jurisdictions across the country. Some as big as Philadelphia, Dallas, some as small as Lake County, Florida. And they compiled all these Facebook posts. My producer and I took a look at them, and it's police officers, both retired and active. And in the Philadelphia case, we saw, imagery that was shared with comments added to it. In some cases, the police officers called people animals or rabid. There was anti-Muslim comments. So there was a wide range of comments that was listed on this particular website. Now, the police department here says that they're looking at each of those comments independently and also with an independent law firm because they're trying to determine, are they protected by First Amendment right, or could they be considered threatening? They said they're not going to make any determination on the fate of those officers until that investigation is done. However, they are still speaking out. Take a listen.
But it makes me sick, to be honest with you. It really makes me sick because we are in a position to know better. There's no question that this puts us in a position to work even harder than we already do, to cultivate relationships with neighborhoods and individual groups that we struggle to work with or struggle to maintain relationships with now.
Yeah, so they're very much aware of the impact this could have on their community, especially at a time Philadelphia is seeing crime in this area. As I said, it's not just Philadelphia that experiences part of this project. St. Louis is another department. In that case, 22 officers are being restricted from taking their cases to court because the attorneys over there say that it could be seen as an unbiased case. So we'll see what happens in other jurisdictions. But, John, certainly this is something that's raising eyebrows in this area particularly. John?
All right, Bryn Gingras, as you said, this story is developing this morning. Please keep us posted. Happening now.
All right. So, family, is it just me or each time whenever these devils is accused of racial profiling or racism, they always have one of our people come on and be a spokesperson? You know what I mean? You ever notice that shit? Like anytime something happened where you have these devils literally come against us, you always have them use one of our people to try to talk about the story. So that way when we see, one of our people talking about it, we're like, okay, well, maybe it's not as bad as how it appears to be because, one of our people is speaking about it and they're not as upset as we are. You know what I mean? That's what they do, man. That's why I keep telling y'all, man, these devils, man, these entities that we live amongst, boy, I don't know. But just imagine, right, how many so-called police officers, I hate to even call them that, these slave patrols, right, that join the military, for example, the law enforcement fraternity, if you will. How many of them are actually white supremacists? They have opportunity now legally to shoot us down because they have a badge and a gun. These two instrument of death and shit, because the badge give them permission to use the instrument of death, which is a gun, to take our lives. So imagine how many of these fucking devils that actually join law enforcement to literally take lives, to spill blood. You know what I'm saying? Like how God in the Old Testament, their God that they injected in the Old Testament, deal with blood sacrifice. So like I told y'all before, a lot of y'all don't understand that God is two different quote unquote God in the Bible. It's the God of the Hebrews and the God of the heathen. The heathen God requires blood sacrifice. Even the heathen God Savior, Jesus Christ, require blood sacrifice. He actually tells you to eat of his body and drink of his blood. You know what I'm saying? Remembrance of him. Who does that? Other than some kind of witchcraft entity. So I want you to understand, family, we have to be very, very careful when we're around these devils. When you get pulled over, let's say, for example, they put their lights on. I would suggest you drive to a lit area, a public area. At least if they take your life and shit is caught on camera, somebody at least can witness them doing so, and they hopefully not get away with it. But yo, you cannot trust these entities, man. You know, you got that ugly motherfucker, dumbass, sleepy Joe Biden, according to Trump. He made racial comments in the past, disparaging comments in the past, talking about we are predators, and he don't want, you know, predators running around amongst his daughter and his grandmother. Some bullshit he was saying. And you know, and a lot of our people will go out and vote for him because, you know, you had Obama, the half-breed. He's not even a real fucking black man. You know what I'm saying? He's a half-breed nigga. And he, you know, because he took on Joe Biden under his wing, we assume he's a part of the Democrat Black Society. I mean, y'all don't understand how much witchcraft these devils use, and they always use one of our people that appears to be one of us. Because I don't consider Obama a black man. I don't. First of all, his mother was Jewish. That's a fucking strike against him right there. And then you had his father from Kenya and shit, and he was African. And his Kenyans, last time I checked, they never had any slave history and shit going into slavery. Only the Hebrew Israelites. So he's not even a fucking Hebrew. Tell you the truth, he's a Hamitic. He's probably a Gentile or a heathen for the most part. So I don't understand why we always give him reverence as if he's the first black president. He wasn't the first black president. Matter of fact, I want y'all to Google the first black president, John Hanson. That's the first black president. He was the first president even before George Washington. A lot of y'all don't even know y'all history. He was the first black president. John Hanson, I believe his name is. The first black president. Google that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though not everything on Google you should believe, but it'll depict. John Hanson was the first black president. He was actually on a $2 bill. That's why they got rid of the $2 bill, because they ain't want no nigga on the $2 bill. I'm telling you, family, it's a lot of history that we don't know about. These devils literally have came and stole our identity. They have rewritten history, given us a book called the Heliobiblus Bible for us to believe in and believe that that's the infallible word of God. Which God? That's their God, which is Satan. You know what I'm saying? Telling us, convincing us that the Bible that we read today is a Hebrew book. No, it's not. It's not the Hebrew book. I gotta keep saying this shit because what they have done, they have came across our record, right? Realize who our true power God is. Okay, I call him power. Y'all call him God. Who our true Hebrew God is, and what they have done, they have hidden a lot of our records. Because if we was to actually, you know, get a hold of our record and realize what we need to do to please our power, our God, if you will, you know, to get us out of this hellhole, because we living in hell. This is hell we living in. I told y'all before, this is a round disc, right? Covered by the firmament, which is a dome and shit, right? The ice cap over there in the Arctic, what they call that shit, whatever. Anyway, I'm not gonna mess the video up because I don't remember. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? This is around it. We living in hell. This is prison for us. We're down here on earth because remember, Satan got kicked out of heaven according to the Bible, right? And where did he go? He came to hell. He went to hell. Hell is earth. And even the Most High asked him, you know, where have you been? He said, I've been through and fro, walking up and down the earth. So if Satan got kicked out of heaven, went to hell as a form of punishment, we're down in this bitch. We are spiritual beings as well that got kicked out of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And we're here to try to get it right. Once we get it right, then the Most High will take us and put us wherever. But right now, we in a hellish condition. This is hell. And you got these demons ruling over us. Y'all don't realize how deep this shit is. Now, y'all consider hell to be this place of fiery, you know, brimstone and burning and all. No, that's to come. That's what's going to destroy us finally when the Most High decides he can't do anything else with us. You know what I'm saying? So that's to come. But for right now, we in a hellish condition. This is hell. You know, you have some people, like yesterday I went out there and I was, you know, giving water and food and money to a white devil, you know, even though I said I wouldn't do it anymore. But because I have humanity, I see him out there in the 90-degree weather and shit, literally dying. My bad, family. The shit got cut off. But as I was saying, yeah, so I came across this Caucasian devil. And this nigga was actually dying, literally dying in front of me, man. He was, you know, out of breath. He was drenched in sweat, and he could hardly move. And I felt compassion towards him, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm a human being. I'm not going to use, you know, the way how the white man would like for me to. In other words, I'm not going to let the white man turn me into a monster. You know what I'm saying? Not having humanity for even non-humans. You feel me? Because if I saw a dog or a cat and shit, that cat and dog is not a fucking human, but I would help him out. So, I buried my pride. I said, you know what, let me do this shit because at the end of the day, I don't want, you know, to feel bad about it if I had to mess with my conscience. So I got out of my vehicles and I gave him like 2 frozen water, some food, and I gave him some money, you know, and he was like, thank you, you know, showing me a sign that the money I gave him is gonna go towards his wife and kids and shit. You know, I was like, all right, man, I hear you, man. I ain't want to hear all that extra shit. You know, so just take the shit and do what you gotta do with it. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is this, family. No matter how much I try my best, you know, put it this way. Let me not say try my best. No matter how much I have this hatred towards these devils, when I see them, and you know, destitute, I have compassion. I can't help it. You know what I mean? And that's why I know I think I'm like probably 90% human and shit. I wouldn't say 100% because, you know, like I said, we got that wicked ass DNA in us and shit. These fucking Neanderthal DNA that these devils raped our ancestors and we got a part of this shit. But I do believe I have humanity in me because a lot of time my wife be like, she be like, you know, you always be talking that shit. But when it comes down to it, you a sucker because you always give in to them. And it's because, you know, I have humanity. Yeah, I do for the most part. Maybe I don't really hate them. Maybe I actually just hate the ones that are making it bad for all of them. I think that's what it is. Because, I mean, I have neighbors and shit that, you know, I'm cordial with. You know, I see them, hey, what's up, Devin, you know, in my mind. And I talk to them. And I have just, like, these two actually Caucasian neighbors, you know, that live right across the street from me. A dude and an older lady. And the older lady, she is so sweet. I'm being honest with you. That's why sometimes it's just confusing. Because I'm like, okay, this woman, she appears to be decent. You know what I mean? She always engaged with me. One time she bought me cookies and shit when I helped her shovel her snow. Fresh baked cookies. Very reluctantly, I ate the shit. But I say, you know, we eat from these devils every day anyway. They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. And, you know, it's hard, man. It's like I'm conflicted because I'm like, okay, I know what I see every day on the news and shit. You know, when I'm in Baltimore, I see how these devils treat us. But then you do have the ones that, you know, it's like, damn, man, is this a devil? Well, they are devils, but, you know, is this one of the good ones and shit, you know? Because not all of them are really alike, but it's so hard, family. It's so hard. It's like I say, you see like 5 fucking lions, right? Let's say 4 of them is fed and 1 of them ain't fed yet. That one that ain't fed gonna get you. But at the end of the day, they're all lions because once they all get hungry and shit, they gonna come get you. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it, man. But I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. So what I said I'm gonna do moving forward, I'm not going to judge these devils. I'm going to leave the Most High to judge them. You know what I'm saying? If I see blatantly racism or, you know, white supremacy in front of my face, yes, definitely I will address it. But I'm not just going to, you know, judge every one of them. It's almost like these motherfuckers, they judge every one of us saying that we all are hoodlums and we're niggers and we're gangsters and we're criminals. And we're not. Because I'm not no criminal. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a criminal. You know, I don't know. I've never been a criminal. So the same way how they try to, you know, categorize each and every one of us as being wicked is the same way I'm doing it, generalizing all white people to be bad. And I don't think they all are bad. But, man, for the most part, man, they make it bad. Well, listen, they said one bad apple spoil a whole bunch. And guess what? If they want to separate themselves from the bad ones, they need to start speaking upon the shit. They need to start going out there and demonstrating on behalf of the good ones and shit. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, look, in my eyes, they all are alike. I really cannot distinguish the two, but I do know that there are some decent white folks. Because, you know, in the past, you know, so even during slavery, you got a lot of white folks lost their life because they had humanity and was trying to help us out, and they lost their lives. So I have to give that to them. So, man, I don't know, family. I just think, man, we just come to a turning point in our lives that shit ain't no turning back. You know what I'm saying? It says we could turn, but ain't no really turning back because you go back, you're going to go back into slavery. We just have to move forward and realize we're at war with these devils and we just got to be on point. We got to be on code. And, you know, yes, if I do come across a devil and he needs my help, because evidently he's destitute, and I know for a fact it's the Most High pouring out his judgment, and I do not like to stop the Most High judgment. Who am I to stop the Most High judgment? But, you know, if it compels me in my heart for me to go out there and do some humanitarian work and help him out, whatever, I'll do it. You know, if the Most High is going to judge me for doing, you know, righteousness, then it is what it is too. With that, family, I say shalom.